We are recording.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Let us begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, if that's all right with everyone. All right?
Works.
So, if you will, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Welcome. So nice to see you all. And I'd also like to start off, it was very nice of the EDC to send me a card for my dad's passing. So thank you all. I truly appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right. Little call to order. So Alderman Barber. Here. Steve Bobowski. Here. Justin. Here. Barb.
Here.
All right. We got a quorum. Very good. All right. Citizen comment period. Citizens. All right. I take that as we're good to go.
There's still marching.
Yeah, I got that.
I hear about the quiet fire.
All right, so now, if you will, folks, we've got to approve the minutes of the April 19th, 2024 meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we have a pass on that one. We're good to go. All right, item number 4. The 2024 Business Appreciation Celebration. The key elements in there, we're going to talk about speaker suggestions, nomination process, and think about dates. So, you're good to go? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I only had one suggestion so far. Barb suggested the Chamber of Commerce, the new Chamber of Commerce director in Milwaukee is a potential speaker. I don't know if anybody else has any other ideas.
So that's of Milwaukee or South Suburban?
Milwaukee.
Who is that?
Okay. The name doesn't come up right now. He used to be a legislator.
Okay.
Koyunga?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Is that the name?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's,
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it properly, but I think that's the individual. I believe he just took the job maybe months ago.
Yeah.
Following Tim Sheehy.
Interesting. I mean, I've heard him speak. He's a tall guy, by the way. He's pushing up about 6'6", 6'7".
Oh.
It's just one of those like, whoa, you know.
Okay.
He speaks well. If it's all right, I since we now actually have a meeting, can I suggest we, think about it, all of us, and submit it, some to you to kind of go through, if you will. The only reason I say that is I'm concerned that our South Suburban folks might feel a little bit, why didn't we select them as opposed to the...
And who would we choose from South Suburban?
Well, I mean, if it's the director of Milwaukee, it'd be the director of the South Suburban Chamber.
Well, are you MMAC director or okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
MMAC.
MMAC, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, MMAC.
But there's a lot of other good people too. And by the way, he's pretty good. So, I mean, he'd be an interesting one to have. So I've heard him before. He speaks well.
Good.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a very good suggestion.
Well, and I suspect that many of, especially the larger corporations, even in Franklin and Oak Creek, are also members of the MMAC.
Perhaps.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah.
Because it's the Metro Milwaukee Association.
Okay.
They have a lot of members throughout the entire area. Plus, they also are a major player in M7.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
he
Well,
might
it's
have
the
a good
host
message.
organization.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he might have a good message for us. I've not heard him speak. I just think his position now as the new president of MMAC might be informative for us.
Yeah. No, I
mean, M7 is he going to look out for Franklin, or is it all going to be city now?
Well, I mean, given M7 is a part of that, it might not be a bad idea to,
Let him know we're here.
have at least an acquaintance with the parent organization's director or executive.
The only thing I think, and I don't have a name, but maybe someone that started a business here in Franklin, and it's why they picked Franklin, their thought process was, have a better understanding of what goes on, but I don't know if it came about which.
Yeah. First of all, I think it's a nice suggestion, but I'm going to suggest, hey, if you got one suggested, we're going to vote next month. And we're going to make a decision. That gives them time and our time because, and first of all, I think it's great that we're thinking this far ahead. It's not that far.
We'll have.
But this is further than last year. That's all I'm saying. So we're looking at it's not that far, but it's a win. So let's come prepared so that we can pick somebody for next week.
Is there anybody that's going to be making big announcements in the near future?
Local company.
All right. So if we will, let's go with that for the moment.
I know there was the robotics had an open site, service and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's
No, they've been here.
oh, okay.
No, they're an
So
existing
just
company. It's
expanding.
I think they had some remodeling done,
Oh, okay.
but they wanted to have an open house and invite people there to promote themselves, essentially. It was an open house, wasn't necessarily a grand open.
I missed the Ambers.
Yeah. All right. So the to-do list is to make sure everybody gets in their recommendations before next meeting. If you don't, well, you don't get to spend. If that's okay with everybody.
You have to stand in the hall, or?
Well, hey, Barb's got one on the line, so I think that you should right at the front of the pack. Okay.
Well, and then our process going forward is we kind of do a hierarchy, and then we issue the first name.
Yeah.
And then there's a second name that they can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of an important thing in it if they have that day. Okay.
Well, it's
No, it is.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
It's
it,
a
but
little
it'll only
dancing.
be 2 months lead time.
Yeah.
So some of these folks won't be.
Okay. So that's the speaker's suggestion. John, you've got some thoughts here on the nomination process?
Well, I've given you all the background information that there is, which was requested. And so the first page that you have is all of the requirements and some of the background work, the documentation that was done in the past. The process is that nominations were made and then interviews were conducted.
Yep.
And so these are the criterias, and then so then also some of the submission requirements for the actual nominations. Formalized nominations were submitted that had to answer these questions, and then there was judging criteria. So that's the basis of the judging and the criteria for nominating someone and considering them. The next page were the questions that were asked during the interviews, and so I think we've been using those as the criteria, I think, in the past. And the only thing, and it has for excellence in business, the questions that are there, and the questions for excellence in business leadership. The only other one was innovation, and I think I put the question in for that a couple of years ago, just asking them how you inject innovation into your organization. And that was the extent of the questions that we were considering for that. But I think in the last 2 years, we've kind of used those questions as the basis for judging the particular candidates. So then I've given you all of the nominees and the winners for the past. Well, it'll end up being so it'd be 5 years, because we had 1 year where we missed for COVID. Yes, 5 years. And the last year is 2023 is on the big spreadsheet that you've got there. And it'll just tell you the names and then the reasons why that the winners were actually nominated and won. So, given that, I think you need to think about how we want to do this process going forward. Do you want to collect names and go out and do interviews? Everybody turns in names and we decide how many we're going to take from each category, and then go out and do interviews, or want to submit names for each category and then review them based on these criteria.
When we did interviews, part of the mission was to extend, a hug, basically, to those people who were here. So it wasn't just having a winner, that kind of thing, but also reach out into the community and say, hey, listen, we're glad you're here, and that whole process is kind of why we did it. It takes time, no question about it. But, let's just suppose, each of us did 5. 5, 2, 4, 5, 10, 6, 9. I mean, there's 30 companies we could touch. That's the value. Okay? Then you got to put something together, come back to the group and say, hey, this is why I think so-and-so is or isn't. The other part to that was last time we kind of did do it, we kind of mixed them up so you didn't have just the small or the large or whatever. I almost recommend you have a category that you're responsible for, so you could actually come back and say, look, amongst my, possible candidates, here's the one I recommend. But if you got one in each category, then maybe not. But it doesn't matter. I mean, we probably came to the right people anyhow in those situations. But that is why we did that. My concern is if we say, hey, listen, you got to turn in this essay of 1,000 words, I don't know who's going to do it. And yeah, neither. It's like, yeah, good luck.
No way.
Yeah, it's who in my group is going to do? Oh, that'd be me. Oh, geez, where am I going to squeeze it in? So that would be a problem to do
Does
it.
each word have to be different?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Maybe use a little AI
Yeah.
to do it for you.
So that's the downside of the 1,000 words. Last year, we submitted, and then we as a group made a decision.
May I ask, last year, were interviews done with all of the nominees last year? No.
In fact, they haven't been done since probably before COVID.
Okay, so we have been moving ahead without having to do those interviews.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've done too badly without the interview, to be honest with
No, I agree. The purpose of it, again, I think we can do.
We utilized candidates that we had from.
you. Yes, right.
But also that somebody in here knew. They
Mhm.
could say, hey, I can vouch for them that they've done this, this, and this.
Definitely.
I think if it's just to pick winners, we can do that as a group.
Mhm.
If we want to make this an outreach program of some kind, then we do the interview. And that comes into time.
Exactly, and personally, I think, yes, the interviews are not a bad idea, or the meeting with, but in the next 2 months, 3 months,
It's
no,
tough.
I don't think that's going to happen.
And in fact, if you go back to it, you're right, Barb. I think when we did do those interviews, probably started in May or June.
Mhm.
So that way we came back together and we said, okay, here's where we're at. I mean, yeah, it's
I honestly don't think it would be feasible this year. And,
I'm agreeing with you, by the way. Anybody disagree and say, no, we should really do those?
Time-wise, I just don't think it's feasible with
Yeah.
this group to get done, but I feel it has to be something other than us throwing names out, though.
Well,
And is there a way to
Maybe we asked.
yeah, we went out, we sent them out there, asked for nominations. I think we put it on the web page and that kind of stuff. And so, and I don't think we got any.
Lisa put it out there too, didn't
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was, I came up, I just put my contact information out there. But hey, if you know business that you feel is deserving, contact me.
You know, an approach I took when I was with the chamber and we were dealing with these kinds of awards, it was a matter of if you've never heard of this company and you don't know what they do, then they're not deserving of an award. You know, they should be present and visible in the community in order to be worthy of one of the awards. So, in a sense, I think we can probably make those decisions among.
It's certainly the most efficient.
True.
And I'm going to agree with you. It says we only have a little bit of time.
Right.
I'm going to recommend this year, the process is we need to get our nominations in before next meeting. The next meeting we can vote.
And we,
I think you should put it up on the website though, which says it's, you know, and they need to get it in before our next meeting.
and we already have a list of nominees.
Yeah.
And we can go back to those that were nominated last time also.
And add.
Yes,
Yep,
and
that's
add.
it. And so that, yes. Now that's the suggestion. Somebody needs to,
Can we just add to that, just to make sure we're doing that so we don't have a repeat of the last time where we're spending the majority of that meeting adding names that we added.
right. And so, by the way, if it's not before the meeting, then, you know,
Done.
yeah, I'm with you. Do I have a,
I'll move that we have nominations by the next, the hard cutoff date.
yeah. So you got to have them before you come in. Okay. All in favor? Say aye. No, I first I got to have a second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. We'll move forward.
So just email them to John by like 2:50.
Yeah, right, just before. And he's scrambling just to make his life ugly. It's wrong.
Well, we probably, you're going to have to nominate, what category they're for.
Yep.
And just to help you folks with this, I'd like to, how do I say this, go through and get actual judging bullet points. We're not going to look for the essay or the 2 or 3 letters of recommendation or the customer focused, customer focused commitment, employee relations, community service, those things, yeah. The judging criteria, sure.
The judging criteria, and then when you look at the question, I guess I'd like to have that language more synced, like what we're asking. Commitment to good business practice. I don't see how that would come out. I mean, tangentially maybe. And then what is your customer service philosophy as opposed to customer focused commitment? I think that language could be brought into play. Not that we have to do that right away.
Got me. I'm just going on what we've got and looking at
If
what
we're
would
gonna-
help you
if
and
this
what
is our
would.
judging criteria. Are we getting that with the questions?
Well, the point is you're going to give us a nomination and you're going to tell us from your perspective, yes, they have these qualities as to why you're going to nominate whoever you're nominating.
And from outside,
What do you mean?
outside of the group, if there's a nomination. that comes
Oh,
in
sure.
through the webpage and-
Yeah, then we have
Sure.
to do a little bit of homework and say, yep, I agree. No,
Well, I just think it could, at some point, it could be synced up to the language. Similar.
You mean the questions versus the,
The judging criteria and the question.
so do we want to just go with the questions then?
I think what we just kind of agreed to is each person is going to bring their, recommendations. And then if you recommend them, you have to justify them to the rest of the group.
By
Yeah.
answering these questions.
Right.
Whatever your criteria was and said, this is why I think they're good.
Okay, all right. So I do want to point one thing out, though. And we've been going on this philosophy since I've been here.
Yes.
But it says, about a third of the way down, it says minimum of 3 years in business. That's a bullet point.
Yep.
Significant presence in Franklin. That's another bullet point. Those 2 points are mutually exclusive. Not wrapped up into one.
Well, okay. No, I got you. I think they should be a real true Franklin.
No, there should be a company in Franklin.
Yeah,
Otherwise there
that's
wouldn't be-
important.
wouldn't
Yeah,
be one of our
exactly.
companies.
What didn't Saputo, wasn't
I
Saputo a
think
winner last year and they were
that
just
was-
on the brink?
Well, because they hadn't even opened
Yeah,
yet.
it has
Yeah.
to be, so it's clear, it has to be here in 3 years. Well, minimum of 3 years in business. But does it have to be?
3 years here.
Those 2 things do not say a minimum of 3 years in business in Franklin.
Yeah, I think that links to my objection about Saputo. Yeah, they're a great company, but they're not even open.
Right.
Well, and to be honest, if we're here to encourage
Yep.
businesses to come to the community and invest here and grow here, nice to say, attaboy, and grow. When they get
So
that.
we did not, we went with Bluebird last year, Augusta. And the reason we didn't do Saputo because they weren't here. So we kind of did
Well,
use it,
that's-
John.
Well, no, we made that, we lumped it together. We said they weren't here for a minimum of 3 years in Franklin.
Right.
Not open for business 3 years and
Any-
also in Franklin.
So what you're saying is if we break it apart, Saputo could theoretically be a winner.
We want an or, not an and.
Right,
I'm good with that. I mean,
as well, really.
yeah.
also in addition to.
Okay.
Good point.
I'm good.
Yeah.
All right.
And as I mentioned, just because it gets to be a sticking point
Yeah.
at times.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I asked for the clarification, because there was no real like.
So coming out of this,
That's where
the
we're at.
bullet point B2 says process going forward.
I think we just made a little.
Yeah. So is that a motion? So we need to. Yeah. So we're gonna or as opposed to and. Is that the motion?
Well, no, I mean, that's just a clarification
Yeah.
of what the rules were.
Okay.
Going forward, we're going to nominate from the list that we've got or from the general business community.
Yep.
And then we'll have the nominations here by next month.
Yep.
And we'll I guess pick nominees that next month.
Yep. Good. Now, the next piece, though, was the process going forward. I would like, after the event is over, I am going to recommend we do, interviews. I mean, it's part of what I think we can do to help, people stay, feel welcome, all that kind of stuff. When you take a amount of our time, if we started that in April or May, we have time. We really have to get in front of it. But, we may come at the end and say, this was a rip-roaring success. It's fine just the way it is. But I just as kind of because when I did do the interviews, I do know that those companies felt like they got a little bit more appreciation. So, anyhow, just a thought. Okay, so I think think about the dates. This past year, our event was on what day?
It was basically the Thursday before Thanksgiving weekend. I forget what that was.
So it was in November,
Right.
and before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, just a week, which makes it kind of tough. But, we could take a look at, I can pull a calendar on the. Look at it. So I do know that the October 23rd and 25th, that is the Municipal League, and that's the annual meeting, and I know multiple from the city attend that, including the mayor. So we don't want to bump people out on those days.
Thanksgiving is what?
28.
28. And if we were to be the same as this past, it would be like the 21st of November.
Yeah, but before that, we've always done it in October.
No,
Pardon?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, it's always been October.
We had some October days.
We also had some November, which is why we did the November.
Well, we just couldn't come to agreement on the last 2 weeks of October and where we were going to be in November. Oh, what do we got here? So I guess y'all can figure out, but let's see. That's December, and I think,
We could do it on Halloween.
yep, could do it on Halloween.
Everybody wear costumes.
So here's the one thing we also want to keep in mind. The first and third, these are going to be plan commission meetings. For the most part, because, and they follow the first and third council meeting of the month. You always want to be cognizant of that. So towards the end of the month helps, because if you look at October the 3rd, that would be a plan commission meeting, and the 17th would be. So, yeah, the 23rd or the 24th, if we get bumped by that conference, 30th, 31st is good. Or if you want to do November, the 13th and the 14th, 13th, or excuse me, the 12th through the 14th.
I'm going to recommend we do the 14th. Wide open. And get far enough away from Thanksgiving
And also, the other comment I was going to make is that I see every Monday is open right now. And, you know, we may need to have a few options for the potential.
Yeah. Okay, so let
Monday is
Mondays.
wonderful.
yeah.
Nothing's going on.
I'm going to recommend though the 14th, and then what is the first of that month? For the 14th, 13th, 12th, it would be 11th.
This is November.
Yeah.
Right
So
here.
so go to the 14th. On down.
14th right there.
Yep.
Yep.
So that would be. We had more success later in the
Uh-huh.
week.
Okay.
So if that's number one, but I agree with you. Bart.
Yeah, we
Let's
never-
go to the 11th and number 2.
Well, the 11th that's
Monday.
Veterans Day,
Oh, is that the veterans?
November 11th.
Yeah, November 11th is veteran.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, then, you know what? Flip it down to the 18th. Yeah, so 14, then 18.
Mm-hmm.
Those are our options.
And we can present both of those dates to the potential
Sure.
speaker to see which works best.
Okay.
All right.
Did you ever do a chamber one on that Monday?
On a Monday?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Usually
I mean,
we
I haven't
tend-
seen them Mondays. It's
No,
for
I
these
think
kind
we
of
often, well, I always had to deal with the speaker, but usually they've been Wednesdays and
Thursdays. Yeah.
Monday's not a big day for that.
No,
Monday is
it's just
not.
everything is kind of all like got through the weekend.
But it's nice because it's not a big day for events.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately,
It's
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays are
Yeah.
killers.
They are. They are. No, I think
That's
the
where I
Monday's a
put
good
all
idea.
my free events in because I know I'm not going
Yeah.
to.
It's at the end of the day. It's not like it's a luncheon or a breakfast.
Right.
So
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, we got 2 dates. We got the 14th and the 18th, and based upon the speaker. Do we have a place in mind? It's not on our list, but
typically we do either Tuckaway or the Polish Center. Seem to be the only places that seem to work for. There's other places. That's fine.
well, as our committee here, what do y'all think? I mean, I thought both of them were fine.
Mhm.
I thought the Polish Center was a little bit more accommodating. Takeaway.
Yeah. I think they have been.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, it just we're stuck with me. I don't want to say but kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I
like
guess
the
let
Polish
us go Polish Center first. Takeaway would be second.
Mhm.
See if they have those dates available. The nice part about both of them, they both know what we're ordering. It's not like, oh, we have to at the
Right.
wheel.
Agreed. And the Polish Center has very good food.
You do?
Oh, so does Tuckaway, but
Yeah.
Sometimes.
so do you.
No, it's different food, but the Polish Center's food is not. It's good, but it's not always consistent.
Oh, boy. Okay. Guess I don't eat there often enough.
Go to a lot of events there.
Yeah. Well, they outsource it, right? And they don't.
No,
They cook it
They cook
themselves.
it.
They're-
Yeah, they do it.
They have their Wednesday cafe. Stop in sometimes. Pretty good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
As far as like event food goes, I've had the same meal multiple times.
Oh.
It's been
Someday better than
different
others.
every time.
Yeah. Okay.
What, do we have a timeline, 5 o'clock, 5:30, socializing?
we copy and paste from last year.
Yeah.
Whatever we did last.
I think for some reason like 4:30. It was a little earlier than, and then previous it was like 5. I thought we were a little earlier last year.
Might be.
But you're right.
We got together, right after work and socialized, and then we went. Actually, you remember if we? Socializing included food,
Yeah.
so that all happened right at the beginning, and then we went right into the presentation, and people
Yeah.
could continue to get refreshments.
What
Yeah.
time would be?
4:30 or 5.
5.
5 seems a little bit more like after work-ish.
Right, 4:30
Yeah,
might
this is a
be
little push.
a
Yeah.
bit early.
All right, so I'm good with 5.
Socializing for an hour?
I don't know if we need to go that long.
Well, 5 to 6.
I guess you're right. What the heck?
People still coming in.
Right, because then it's 6 o'clock. Because a
Right.
lot of folks
That's
do
right.
work till
They
almost.
still want to get the special drink.
Absolutely, got to get that one with the, with the little umbrella and everything, huh? Good.
And I go back to one other kind of a thought. That, do we want anyone from the administration input to our selection process? Or ask if we have any? Well,
That's you.
Well, they can submit as well as anyone else.
well, I'm just
Are we
right.
talking about the
Say-
council and the mayor? Or?
Yeah, ask them for it. See if there's any names that would come from the mayor or the council. Augment.
The answer is absolutely. I mean, they know the players. So, yeah.
So when we need council approval for any of this, council, maybe at the next council, we would announce it and ask them for input.
And this is for.
I think different. I'm just looking for them to do nominees as opposed to approving the program.
That's what I'm saying. All I'm
Okay.
doing is asking for nominees,
Okay.
not that there's
Yeah.
any final approval.
Do we need to do that? A counselor can, John just sent a note. Invite him to,
With the dates and the time.
Yeah. And if you got some
Yeah.
nominees, please feel free.
Submit
like
a
everyone else did
nomination
that.
for the next meeting, just
Yes.
like everybody else.
Just
Yeah.
like everyone else.
Right.
Right.
But that's
Yeah.
inviting that
Yeah.
segment, that
Yep.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
executive branch.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's just
Sure. Got it. Okay. I think that's a pretty good start, actually, for
Mhm.
the event. Okay. All right. You all good with going for the number 5 website updates?
Wherever you are.
Yeah.
Oh, but I will say, there's some nominations, basically notes in there that I've included in this, so you all can see that. Like I say, you just have some guidelines there as to what you're looking for. Okay. So, our website updates, and we can just kind of work through the pages. And on the first page, which is the introduction page, and also on the actual bullet point on the website, I need to, my suggestion is just say choose Franklin. And get rid of the question mark. If we don't know why, then why should they have confidence in it?
I agree.
That doesn't. I actually went through it when you sent the link, but that if I go to this page and I'm looking for ways to start my business in Franklin, why choose Franklin doesn't tell me this is where your business information. It kind of makes me, well, why would I move to Franklin? I think that's more consumer facing than business. I think that really needs something completely different. Maybe things still open for business.
Well, the whole thing is a company looking to locate a business someplace. That's the whole point is choose Franklin.
I choose Franklin without a question mark. Tell you why you're.
Oh yeah, that's true. But
Question mark is like,
But
are we asking them to?
the why still makes it a question.
It's more. Why should you
interrogative
choose
statement.
Franklin? Why should you choose Franklin?
Just choose Franklin. Works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make
without
a
the question.
declarative sentence.
We know why. We're going to let you know why.
Mm-hmm. Exclamation point.
That would be
Very good.
So is that a decision here? I'm
That's-
fine either way. I mean, you can put an exclamation point, why choose Franklin, just choose Franklin. I think anybody looking at this site, they're going to get it. I mean, it's not that hard, but On the other hand, I'm not bothered by the other suggestions either. All of those work. So, for your sake, John, we should help you choose which way or the other.
Yep.
Justin, you got a strong feeling one way or the other?
I don't like the question mark.
Do you wanna
Why
make
does
it
it
just
bother
choose
you? But I
Franklin?
think choose Franklin is more.
So,
We're
How
not.
do you wanna
We're
put
not
it?
questioning it. We know you should choose Franklin.
do you want to put an exclamation or do you want to put a colon?
I wouldn't. But there should be. There's no punctuation anywhere else.
So just choose Franklin, move it all the way left. Okay. You good with that, Mike? Barb?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay, so,
The community video tour,
Yes,
was
sir.
that made for this, or did that already exist?
no, it actually is made for the front page. It'd be
Did anyone watch it?
it's a good link.
Did you look at it?
Let me go to,
You're not big on it yet.
here's some.
Mayor Nelson's a very good speaker.
Yeah.
And it does not come across in the video.
Oh, really?
It bothers me every time I watch it or showed it to someone.
Oh, okay.
So it's not on the front page anymore, so yeah, it is on our page.
A regular, normal one, huh?
Oh,
So-
there it is, yeah, that's,
It was not made.
It's the bottom paragraph of that meeting.
Yeah, the
Entry.
Right.
blue.
Great graphics.
so we've got the welcome, we've got some other
Live life to the fullest in Franklin. Minutes from downtown Milwaukee and just a 90-minute drive from Chicago, Franklin provides family-oriented country tranquility amidst the bustle of metropolitan life. Constructing hundreds of residential units over recent years and planning new developments all the time, we offer housing options for every
The
taste.
narrator's fairly dynamic.
Yeah.
And when you go to the
Hello.
mayor's welcome.
Welcome to the City of Franklin. My name is John Nelson. I'm the mayor. Franklin is a wonderful community, many amenities. It's a great place to live, work, and raise a family. You're about to see some videos that showcase that. If you got any questions, please call me directly or our Economic Development Department. Until then, welcome to Franklin.
After getting our start as a rural
Smile.
community, we know how to make things grow in Franklin. From new commercial developments
Looking at his
to our
mouth.
established residential areas. Today, our city boasts a mix of rural and urban spaces, creating a unique atmosphere for residents, visitors, and businesses. We're always looking for ways to improve Franklin's already remarkable quality of life. One of our biggest projects recently is Ballpark Commons, a mixed-use district that features everything from housing to office space to entertainment. You'll also find many organizations that support our local culture, excellent schools, and a host of recreational opportunities. Franklin is a great place to raise a family or open a business. Every day, we're celebrating quality of life. Franklin, Wisconsin, the space to be growing.
I don't know the ability to edit this at this point, but also when we talk about the schools, the picture should probably not show a part of the building that's falling apart. But that's
In that picture there?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. Did you guys see it?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
I mean, okay.
Which school were they?
it was the high school, but there's a big chunk of concrete missing right under the sign.
Oh,
Okay. I mean, again, you're right. If that's true, then it should be fixed. We shouldn't use that piece of it. I didn't see it.
Social media marketing background, so I
No, absolutely. So that's quite.
I just saw a lot of roads.
Yeah,
yeah.
and,
then
a
we
lot
also
of
saw
rocks.
some
but that's-
apartments early on, which
which
the
I-
rock looked good. I mean, those buildings, but the other ones look kind of old. First one's like they're 20, 30 years old. They look like
I
an
mean,
old
like,
community.
could show Aspen Way or something, all of that development, housing, I don't know, just.
Is this the normal, or that we just are
It's a
tapping
work
into,
in
John?
process.
Was this specifically for this?
No, this is not part of your review, this is a separate work item that's done last year.
Yeah, but this has nothing to do with us. This is our.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, next time we do this.
Okay.
You know,
Got it.
it should be a committee type thing. and
Yeah.
You guys are the committee. You'll direct the
Like,
consultants.
Every couple of years, it could be updated.
Absolutely.
It's good. It's good overall. It's just
Yeah.
there's certain things.
All right. So I need.
I'm in it. I love it. Like not me personally, but our building's in it, so we weren't aware that was.
You
up there.
good? Yeah. So I
It's
guess
not
the only
just
other
the rock.
question on this is Is Mayor Nelson happy with his video?
Well, he's talking, so.
I'm just asking him if he's happy.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
people are really.
Gotcha.
Not the beer garden.
Oh no, I was looking at that.
This is it.
Yeah, all right, thank you. Okay, so let's keep going.
Okay. So, are we good with this?
Yep.
This front page?
We're gonna do change, Franklin, keep going.
All right, so, well, we have related links, but let's hit doing business with us. And here's some featured businesses that are in it that highlight some of the companies that are here.
The only thing on this page is the TIF districts being on this page. They also have their own section on the drop down and on the related links. Is that an appropriate place to put them?
Well, yeah, our TIF districts just show where they are.
Yeah, but
It's
in
kind of-
6 different places. Is it appropriate for this main doing business with this page? Because nothing else is on there. It's just the case studies, which are good. They look good. They read good. And then it goes down to the TIF district. Which also, if you go up to the Why Choose Franklin or on the left, they both, TIF district has their own.
Well, we solved you try to have some cross connections. So this is doing business with us. This is one of the things that companies ask. Do you have incentives? Do you have finances? And there's a development process,
I like it.
permit application, business resources.
I
But
think that's appropriate.
This is like one big bullet point, and here's the link that takes you
Yeah,
to
no,
the
I just was
finance
wondering
pages.
if it needed to be, but I get the sprinkling, it makes sense. Just it's in so many places.
It would,
Like,
yeah,
it makes sense.
hey, it does belong here.
Yeah.
So where's the other places that it?
So you have it on the left
Right.
there.
Sure,
It's
that's a
on the
link.
bottom related links. And if you go up to the Why Choose Franklin, it has its own drop down under there. The
In related
one at
links.
the top.
Okay, so
See, some of the pages TIF district shows up there. So I think, but that's a site-wide thing, so I think that's just a weird
Right.
breadcrumb.
When you come back to that, what is the language there?
TIF district? This describes what they do, help fund infrastructure and facilities development that otherwise wouldn't be possible, which is a succinct way of saying how they function. And then there's
I would switch the 2 sentences. City of Franklin
Oh, yeah, I
currently
see what you're,
has
yeah.
5F active, welcome you to the next project. Tax increasing finance districts help fund infrastructure. So we're Franklin, the city of Franklin, actually.
So instead of this is what they are, we have them, it should be we have them, this is what they are.
Just to switch of the 2 sentences. Franklin is doing the offering. This is why we do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just thoughts.
okay. So then these processes go to other pages that we don't control. Goes to the planning pages. All right.
So you're gonna do in the headline instead of Why Choose Franklin, Choose Franklin? Up top. Next to resources, up higher. No, under the,
Right. Yeah. We would change that.
yeah, okay, and then the other one too.
Those are linked. You change one.
Change. Okay, just as long as I'm good. Yep, I think you got this covered.
So development process, that's not us, that's the Department of Development.
That's the planning department.
I'll send that one.
Okay, here's businesses and industrial parks. Again, it's a map. This is in the industrial parks. The Franklin Business Park gives a description. And then takes us back to the economic development.
Yep. So, go back to that. John, do you want your name in there, or do you not? Economic Development Director.
That's fine.
Which?
Contact the Economic Development Director at 414.
So subordinate clause with your name.
I don't know. It just, it's like there's a real person. If you don't want it, don't. It's up to you.
So that's
It's an email link to your name. Just don't have a default email. Or well.
no, my number being in there is fine. I mean, I have my cell phone, my regular number on my cars. That's just.
No, I was saying it just says
Add your name.
And your
It
name
says
was
direct-
earlier on another
Yeah, it was
page.
on another piece.
It's on the
Yeah.
initial page, I think. So
Okay.
your name is out there. They'll find you.
Did some mention the header there? Why don't you Franklin?
Yeah,
Question mark.
yeah,
The headers, yeah.
Justin said they're linked, so they'll both be fixed.
So there's the Lewis Business Park.
And the Lewis Business Park outline thing, does that link to the printable thing that we talked about with them?
This links to the art
Just
view.
page.
That one goes to, then for this, that goes to it as well. It just shows you where the location is and what the zone.
So 2 links to the same thing in ancient, but
Yep.
not the printable paper they were going to print. They said the printable page.
You know,
on
that's
each one.
that's the economic development director. We can probably put both of those in.
I think under each of these would be a good place to link to those things.
Sure.
And there's no reason it can't be there. It's because it's on here. And probably that was probably the
Where that
intention,
was supposed to be.
and they just missed it. Franklin Corporate Park. Here's the generalized map showing where there's buildings that have been built and or are planned for the park. We don't have any other particular buildings planned for the moment. These are all that's on the deck right now or on the drawing board. And Franklin Industrial Park Phase 2 basically shows all the modern lots that are there. There's a very few that are available. It just shows what the phasing of it all was. Provides some historical context. This shows phase 1. And we have a business map that shows the thing again. And just the first, again, historical context. And same thing with the North Cape Industrial Park. It's a historical context. And we don't have any flyers for it, so we're not really promoting.
In the language, do we want to mention anything about the worship?
No, not everybody's. You got
Probably.
19 out of 40, maybe less. So I mean, it's sort of like, well,
But it is a resource. I'm thinking other resources like Community Development Commission, Engage, Franklin, kind of resource would help. are supportive of that membership as well. I mean, that's just, what are we saying? I mean, where are we differentiating ourselves from anyplace else? I'm thinking we have some things going on in Franklin that say, here's your resources. We're interested in you. We want you. Resources are available.
Yeah, I think we can put that in there. I'm trying to think of business resources right here. Yeah, I think under business resources, doing business with us.
Okay. So if you put it in there as sort of a, where a click and it says here's who to contact if you're interested in more information.
Yeah.
Sure.
So consortium with that, like probably under business organization.
Yeah.
Right. Hang on.
M7.
So I'm gonna guess here's South Suburban Chamber. We could probably put them right in here. That's why I was trying to think of where this was. That's why I wasn't responding, but we could put that in here. So
What role might the community development?
Community Development Committee. You mean the CDA, Community Development Authority? Certainly should be on there, and I'm not so sure that they're not somewhere, but we should have them on there.
Well, theoretically, I thought where you're going with, we should probably be up there too. EDC.
Yeah.
Well, but it's an organization, so why shouldn't it be? I mean, if we got multiple links, a lot of things, is it a business organization? Absolutely. I mean, it's just competitive, yes, but
Yeah, that's
kind of what we do.
Salt the. Yeah.
We've got the Aerotropolis listed there with the gateway. Aerotropolis does not exist. That was a concept. That was an idea.
Okay,
And
that's
that
what I thought. But you
Yeah,
go to
it's
the
not.
website and
Still there? Well, no. The Aerotropolis was an idea that that they were trying to, build all of this structure basically around the airport, and had a seminar, had programs and seminars. But it really is the gateway. That's the
Okay.
organization.
so these things, the organization doesn't exist anymore. This is just
The the gateway definitely. The gateway exists. Does the gateway reference Aerotropolis?
No.
No.
It's a link from Aerotropolis. It
So we
basically
just have to
Aerotropolis takes you to the gateway of Milwaukee.
Really?
So do we need to just change that title to?
Well, is that Aerotropolis our language or theirs?
That's from our site.
That's from ours.
That's from our
So
site, but
I'd
that was
say-
the link that was there. Maybe we just say the gateway to Milwaukee.
Yeah, that Aerotropolis is really, that concept is like 20 years old and it never really.
Well, yeah, that was my question: does this exist anymore? And it's no, it's the gateway to
It's
Milwaukee.
the gateway. It became the gateway.
Still a great idea.
That's what
It's
I
what?
thought.
It's still a great idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but it's not, it's not there anymore.
That helps. Anything else we see we don't like? You work on?
Yes, we're gonna add the EDC to this.
We're going to add the EDC and the FBC and the CDA and EIEIO.
All right, now we're feeling good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to go that far.
BINGO? Okay, do we need, y'all can take a look at
Yes.
these other items
Sure.
and let me know if something's missing. TIF districts, we've already seen.
Can you go back to so I had a question about it's a consistency thing for me.
This,
If you go down like right here where the drop down starts from, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, well, right there.
uh-huh,
Ballpark Commons is the only one that has anything after the TIF number.
this,
So
Back on that, let's
Yeah,
see,
right.
like right there in the headline, TIF District Number 5, Ballpark Commons Development Proposal. But the next one, if you go to 6, it doesn't have anything.
or
It's
seven.
just in the title there, not in the drop down.
oh,
They should either all have something or none.
Okay.
And would it really be proposal now that it's up in operational?
Right.
I know.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, if each of the districts has a name, certainly then that name there, but,
Or dominating. Yeah.
or the featured business and some whatever it is, but just so it's consistent.
And I do like it, the fact that it kind of helps you understand what the differences are.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that is. Do we have sub names for these other ones? 6, 7, 8, 9?
Not that I know of.
I don't either, but
I'd have to take a look. 6 and 7.
Mike?
Well, 7 is actually Ballpark Common.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and 6 is Bear Development. 8 is Corporate Park, and 9 is, well, it's Karma, but it's also a lot more. So 76 and Ross, 76 and Ryan.
Well, then I would even 76 and 9 would be
76
helpful.
Ryan
Yeah.
District,
The Karma District.
Ryan Development District.
That helps.
Just name it.
Yes.
I don't think Bear would have any problem with development.
And those are all, they're still, these are current, Jeff still. They're all.
These are the existing ones,
And
yes.
then 1, 2, 3, 4 are all closed.
Yep.
Okay. That's guys. Good guy.
I don't have anything.
Yeah. That's it, huh? Darn.
I mean, I have plenty more for the rest of this.
Yeah, all right, good.
Okay, so
Oh, actually, I like the case studies. Is there a way to link to those? So instead of just reading Karma Labs, can I link to Karma Labs? Can I link to Ballpark Commons? Instead of it just being the static thing that's sitting.
Other than the pictures?
Yeah. Anything that's on a website should serve a purpose. So if you have a word, it should do something other than answer a question. Anything that's bold or bigger than the rest, not every.
okay. Yeah, because we do it.
We can always add.
Yeah, there's new things.
Okay. So now, yeah, worked around those. Work around these, we'll get all this out of the way. This just goes back to the Economic Development Department, which we're not gonna, we didn't change that city website. Just for your information. Here it is. Here's my name. And then it's circular, it takes us back to these other sites again. Try to salt the site, because you've got a bunch of different features on it. People get lost, and if you only got one place, you know, they get away from it. And there may be things that you want them to constantly be reminded or have access to without having to search.
Not to mention it's good for search engine optimization. So if you search doing business in Franklin, we're a .gov site, shows high authority, and because we have so many of our own links linking back, it actually pops us up.
Yep. So location. Have a map for that. And highways.
So this is us. This page, or is this city?
Pardon?
Is this like specific, like we would make changes to this?
This tells us where we are in the general region.
So
if,
minutes
if
from
we have a
Milwaukee.
map just of Franklin, it doesn't tell
No.
anybody where we are.
I'm just saying minutes from Milwaukee, Central Opportunity. If that's a headline, then Central Opportunity. Minutes in Milwaukee.
Okay. Minutes from Milwaukee, capitalized, central opportunity. Oh,
Yeah, Central.
I see. Yeah. Your context is.
Sorry, I'm just. I don't spend a large amount of time looking at websites.
That's okay. You can print these out and write this stuff down for a guy, so he doesn't have to do it. in
Look, I
preparation
just
for
saw
the
that one
meeting.
now. I did. I really did.
Don't go to my campaign website, okay? Don't bother
Luckily, you're not my alderman, right? Believe me, Michelle gets texts from me all the time. Hey, you can't spell that like.
That's location. Now we're looking at the city of Franklin because that's what we're starting.
Just to go back, did the page before reference the Port of Milwaukee?
Yes.
It did.
10
Okay.
miles.
All right. Good. I didn't see. Thanks.
Third line.
Port of Milwaukee.
Okay. It's
Yep.
there. Great. That could be key.
Shows, demonstrate. We have, they're basically the TIF districts that are outlined. Shows the sizes. And we're relatively a larger acreage-wise city. And workforce, big part of workforce is universities we've got available, sort of pulls back resources.
A reference to the Carnegie Institute.
Should be. I think that's humor. Sure.
Sure, let's see. But do you read any of these?
Yes, that's maybe. Yeah, Carnegie. Here we go.
Yeah. Let's see. Public infrastructure, and then okay. I don't know what. It's kind of difficult to talk about public infrastructure because you basically have to go into the meaning of life to get everything listed, and then you start talking about capacities and miles of pipe, and it's just, that right there makes me fall asleep. But if you get into the rest of it,
See, I love that stuff. That's what I would read for.
we could put the white noise or the colored noise, whatever color it is, you dial up these days out of business. Okay, low cost. This one here is pretty interesting.
Because no one believes it?
Yeah, we're the and this is like from the a government integrity organization in the region, and Franklin. This is Franklin, and these are the two school districts in Franklin, which is a representation of those parts of the community and the lowest taxed areas in the region. These are all the rest of the communities in the region. Now,
What is the title of that?
Milwaukee County tax rates by school and city district.
That include the new referendum?
I don't know if it's a referendum. It's not
Not
codified yet. So that would be a no.
So you passed legislation to back them up?
No, they do their own. They're in a separate entity. They are their own governmental and determine their own tax rates. We just the paperwork.
So these are incentives. Again, it's basically the TIF district have. There's population growth over time.
Probably would. It shows the increasing.
Well, the reason for that is it's strictly a geopolitical adjustment that recognizes that some Franklin addresses are in the city of Milwaukee, and some city of Milwaukee addresses are in the city of Franklin, and they're up on the shore.
Or is it the House of Correction? Lost population.
They just stopped counting it. Yeah, that could be. That would help explain it.
Yeah, but it
The
should. In
address.
fact, if you had it as pre and a post, so you take it out from before as well.
500.
No, I'm saying, yeah, but you're saying it was in the previous and now it's out.
So to
So you
try
would
to,
take it out of the previous then, so you're doing apples to apples?
You never, don't have those. Oh, what? We'd have to go back, look at every year, figure out what the numbers were, that address.
Right.
That would be,
Well, we obviously did it to take them out.
Was
well,
there a
we
reason?
didn't,
Right.
Was there a reason to take those numbers out?
for whatever reason, they decided to
They,
take the census.
they?
That was a
The
census thing. It was a nationwide.
Census.
Well, it is what it is then. So it's explainable, but I hear what you're saying, Justin.
Franklin, we're growing, accept them.
Yeah, well, we took
Sorry, we give business so much space. We can't have new housing, so our population has to go down.
Mhm.
With the slowdown in growth due to COVID.
yeah, that's,
Yeah,
There you
we-
go.
yeah, well, it was COVID, sorry, hang on. We rebounded from that.
And the wording of the paragraph above it fit because we've increased 68% since 1990. So they're using that base number, and even though it's a downward
Sure.
trend, it's still the
The
increase
the
that
year.
we're seeing.
The year you choose.
Yeah, according to the census, adjusted numbers and indexed, I'm assuming, yeah. And then there's quality.
Nice.
All the images.
Pardon?
A lot of nice images.
We got lucky. We took photographs over 2 years for both the videos and for this, and caught all best part of it both times. Things are still green. Colors are starting. Okay.
I'm going to come retake pictures of me at 25 grand on landscaping. So
Well, if it's just one site, we can get those. I mean, I grab every year, and we probably won't need to now. One of the engineering techs down in engineering flies a drone. I mean, they fly drones routinely, surveying sites, and I've got a file full of those. Anything for me to grab a single site, get pictures, update. So that takes us through the website.
All right. Good.
I'm liking it.
So,
We'll always be able to tweak it forever.
yeah, well, the truth of the matter is, this is what's up and flying right now because there was no way to do a beta site, a secondary site.
We're good.
And there's nothing in there that's terrible at
No.
all.
No.
It's all good. We're just kind of tweaking it.
Okay.
It's good.
it's a vast improvement.
Yeah.
Jumble of words that meant nothing.
Well, yeah, in the jumble was a lot of outdated information. Yeah, that don't.
Nicely done.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's take a look at our budget process.
Okay.
Initiation.
So, budget process has begun, and I think we've got to have it a draft in next month, in August. I think the second week of August is when it is. And there'll be like a presentation in September. And so we can take a look at what we have right now. And the big question mark is once we get done with our strategic planning process, really drastically change what we're asking for a budget. So just looking at what we've got right now, I grabbed the latest. This is kind of the best way to do it is look at what you're using and what you have immediately projected. And so just going down through that. And you know, there's some categories that you can't eliminate. You're always going to need office supplies at some time or another, and printing. But the other professional services this year, we budgeted for potential $35,000. So we were lucky to get that for basically $20,000. And if we also think about one thing, we're going to be using about $5,000. I figure $6,000 to be safe for the business volunteer recognition at the bottom end of the budget. So we got about $12,000 that we aren't using on professional services. Now, we could end up with working with some consultants on some marketing, like that. But right now we haven't used that. Thinking about more of that going into the strategic planning process. And indeed, we probably will use some of that for publishing it, as well as maybe hosting some of these focus groups. So we're halfway through the year, and we're in budget season. So
has the administration suggested any guidelines? Budget?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they put those out. Like I say, we're going to be, we need to have something in for our operations next month.
They didn't say they
August.
cut it 20%.
No, they didn't send anything.
So, John, how does this compare versus a year ago? So we got, basically, if I'm reading this correctly, we got a budget of $187,813, which is, the amended budget is the same number. Okay. How did we do last year? What was our number?
About $5,000 left was what the budget was set for. Yeah.
And did we spend all of it?
Pretty much.
So then the other professional service, 38,000. That's our strategic plan.
That was in different places. The budget, last year's budget had $20,000 that we cut. That was in like one of those website access monitoring programs that basically told you all of the companies connections that had visited your website. And the biggest part of it is governments, ours, as well as other ones in the area, and local companies that were looking for contact information for permit process. So it really wasn't giving us leads. So we decided not more, and those funds went to the strategic planning.
Gotcha. So we just reallocated it. So rough numbers, were we at about 187,000 last year? We up, we down?
Yes. I think we went back 5,000.
Okay.
But I'll have to double check.
So if I'm mayor at this, well, you finish the strategic plan, it costs you 38, I can cut you by 38. Is that what he's going to do?
Well, again, we need to think about what we're going to end up with when we do strategic plan, what we want to accomplish.
So my question then is, what are we going to put in there?
What are we going to
offset the 38? Because if I'm him, I'm cutting you 38 based on.
And that's the question.
So do we have things for that? That's how I'd be looking at this budget, unless there's other things I might cut too.
Right.
Marketing services, what is that?
That's if you're taking out any advertising. The marketing services also is looking at, like we engaged the folks with Carl Collective to help us with developing our marketing materials. We engage with somebody like that, and that would be part of it. Or if there was advertising we took out, that could be part of it. We do have advertising, but not much.
And 20 doesn't go very far. All I'm saying is those would be areas, if I'm looking at the budget, I would be saying, you're going to need to give me some justification. Otherwise, I got 58,000 that I can reallocate to some other fund.
Sure.
John, could you give us a little background as to, my understanding is that there has been a person hired on a contract basis, communications. Is that correct? Okay.
PR work.
All right, public relations. I can see, and I don't see that reflected in here at all. So she or he is being paid by another administrator.
That's administrative.
Yeah, that's coming out of the
okay.
admin's or mayor's budget.
All right, but then my suggestion is that we could use some of those services here also.
The intent is more to put the administrative thought process out there as well as answering questions that come in. It's how you write the material, stuff like that, for that specific cause, and that's why it's administrative budget. More for that entity to make sure that their public face.
But I think what Barb's saying is if we're trying to justify this 58,000 that's sitting here, it might be nice to have something like this which says, we can get the message out about Franklin and what a great place it is. So we need to have something as in, where's that money going? Otherwise, I'm taking it back.
And I'm not suggesting that we take away
Right.
time from the from what the person already is doing.
They might be jealous of that.
Well, then
Oh,
find
yes,
somebody
and
else. The point is we need to have something to justify why this budget should maintain that level. Otherwise, I'd be cutting.
I'm suggesting perhaps maybe not the same person, but
Yeah.
also a contract person to do some of the communications
Yeah.
work for us.
Okay. I think any other questions on this? I understand, but is that helpful, John, as to your thoughts, or what do you think?
Let's get the strategic planning.
Yeah.
Well,
But when is the date that the budget's going to be approved?
The plan might dictate where we can spend some money.
budget gets approved in October, late October, November.
Yeah.
It has to be presented and it's finalized.
And when we're going to have the strategic plan finished?
Well, that process is going to be going on into next year.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think I support Barb here, which says we should have at least identified a couple places where that money will be used, if not to support the strategic plan here, and here.
Placeholders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once it's gone, guess what? It's hard to get it back.
They're going to be looking for.
Absolutely. Everybody does. So, okay. Thank you.
So, in the marketing services, one of the items in there is we need to sign up for our website with Dun & Bradstreet.
Okay.
And the service they were providing, get that.
All right.
And that's a $4,000.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and that would be part of marketing.
Okay.
So, yeah, the thing is we're doing a lot of work right now with projects, which we'll be talking about in a few minutes.
Okay. Any other questions on the budget? All right. Let's keep rolling then, John. So we're going to talk about the other projects, right? The economic development update.
I would like to just ask about communications. So you're looking for some kind of an entity to serve as our service for Franklin, or
Yes, to get the word out about why choose Franklin.
I think comes out the number of times over the past 6, 7, 8 months we've said we don't really have anyone who handles this. Or Lisa takes care of that type of thing.
right? No, I just need to know the type of contract and content of those materials is going to be business oriented.
Yes. That's what I would think.
Yes. Gotcha.
Instead of putting additional things on Lisa's plate.
Right.
I understand she is.
Or John's.
Or John's plate, yes. Yeah.
Where would you like to?
Well, again, it depends on what people want. There's an expectation I'm going to go out and contact businesses or developers more specifically. So, that's part of a conferences and budget, travel budget. Reality is that I'm working so much on the blocking and tackling and administrative tactics of getting projects through and landed. Haven't really got time to get out and get a retention expansion program, which is a time factor. Not so much. So, anyways, but that's kind of the process to staffing suggestions.
Like an RD specific, either RD specific person or administrative person that could kind of take some of the
Exactly.
day-to-day.
Exactly.
Does
Minutiae.
Brooks, I think Brooks is gone. I was thinking maybe a part-time
Right.
planning student or a part-time economic development student that could come in.
Yeah.
Get assignments without having full-time.
Yeah, Eric's not with Carl Collective anymore, but Eric's still available to work.
Well, I was just thinking that might be offload some of
Right.
Mm-hmm.
the stuff that'd be good for them in terms of development.
And that said, if you don't ask for it, you won't get it.
Right.
And if you don't get it, then you say, well, then I can't do this.
Yep.
So you need to propose it.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you. Sorry.
No, I'm with you. And I think it's worth going back as to, it does. It helps establish the fact that here I can only do so much, so I'm asking for here. Oh, you didn't give me that? Yeah.
For what I feel my job is, and I'm not able to do it because I'm tied up.
Yeah, well, and again, do we want them to do those other things outreach? Well, then we got to give them backfill. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, RD is.
It's the first order of business.
Yes, but the last one you're usually able to get to.
Well, in a city government situation, yeah, because like doing TIF work. I mean, started a TIF district last year. We're looking at doing 2 more this year. So yeah, there's a lot to it.
All right, so let's talk about our current economic development update.
Yeah, with strategic planning, at the last meeting, several folks were here, and we kind of discussed with the consultant that was here, the director of administration, myself. Barb was here with us, and we talked about basically kind of the intention of what we wanted to get accomplished with a strategic planning process, which worked for the consultant because she was just looking for the impression that residents have and maybe residents with more insight, which any of us could have done. And so she has what she needs, and she's putting together the survey that would be more forward or more public facing. Then she's working on structuring what the focus groups, if you will, are going to be. And it's going to have all of the different stakeholders that we have involved, such as the different commissions that are involved, the council, and when I say the different commissions, like the Plan Commission, this group, CDA, that are involved with economic development. And we'll probably have H. Franklin folks involved in there somewhere. And so we'll have focus groups with them to get the input that we need that gives us the priorities that we want to pursue. So she's coming up with that survey, and we'll work on getting different focus groups scheduled or structured, and then we'll be scheduling basically in December those groups getting together, proceeding into January with actually forming the plan. So probably sometime in February, we should be looking at coming up with a raw kind of a draft that will work.
Okay. All right. Projects.
Prospects.
Do we need to go to closed session?
We do need to go to closed session.
I move that we go to closed session for current prospects.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And so, the Economic Development Commission may enter closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 1985, subsection 1, subsection E, for market competition reasons, to deliberate and consider potential commercial, industrial, manufacturing developments and governmental action in relation thereto, and re-enter open session at the same place thereafter to act on such matters discussed therein as it deems appropriate.
All right. Yeah, we did.
Yes, we voted.
Well, yeah, we did.
All aye.
Aye. Opposed? Move forward.
We're back in open session.
All right, so the next thing is invoices of CP2 Consulting of $49.50. And what do we need to do on that?
Just need to have a motion to approve.
All right, I have a motion to approve.
I so move to approve.
Second?
Second.
You sure you can? Yeah, all in favor, say aye.
I know you're thinking.
Opposed? All right.
Parliamentarian.
Motion
But I'm like,
passed.
oh, yes.
You need the signature?
You know
All
what?
right.
Your sheets are free, I think. So you have one
Yeah, dude.
right there.
Sure.
And of course, as this is a $20,000 project, this is just one installment.
All right, next order of business is scheduled for next meeting, August 16th. It looks good for me. Other folks, does it work okay, at least at this point?
We talking about 3 o'clock or 4?
I like 3 o'clock.
I do too.
I like 3 o'clock too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
doesn't go into the evening.
Right. I'm with you. So, you know, let's wrap up the day by day. Yeah. All right.
The heated day.
Ooh, bring them. All in favor of our August 16th, starting at 3. Can I have a motion?
I motion for August 3rd,
August
16th at 3
yeah.
p.m.
All right, second.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Then I suggest we adjourn the meeting and wish you guys a great weekend. Good to see you all. Thank you.